Hi, I'm Dr. Natalie Marks, and I'm here with another Fountain Report conversation. Joining me today is Dr. Dana Varble, and she is the Chief Veterinary Officer of NAVC. Dana, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Very excited to be here with you today.
I know that there has to be internal discussions on the learner of tomorrow,
Yeah.
right? So much has changed since
Yeah.
post-COVID, and a lot of that we know is attention span. And do people want to travel? Do they want virtual learning? Do they want an interactivity? Do they want to do
Yeah.
it on their own time asynchronously? So what is your feeling, or what is your group's feeling about what that learner of tomorrow looks like? What are we targeting, or what are we changing in education?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
actually, I'll be I think one of the biggest areas for us in the last few years has been investigating this idea of each of us learn so uniquely.
Mhm.
Whether you're visual, whether you need to be hands-on, whether you need reinforcement. Some of us come to continuing education to learn something new or explore a new, area in the profession. I don't want to be a specialist, but I want to be really good at dentistry.
Mhm.
How can I be really good at dentistry? And we also know that everyone's time is really limited these days. So,
Mhm.
yeah, if you'll notice at VMX, there's no more 75-minute sessions. They went away. No one's got the attention for that. And really just the big thing I think is focusing and allowing people to choose a path again that digs into their individual wants and needs. How can we have at a conference of nearly 30,000 people, how can you get what's going to help you thrive in your job for the year? Do you just need review? Are you just there because, like, I just need to get through my hours? I need review. Or is it, again, I want to become not a specialist level, but I'm really interested in this. It brings me a lot of joy to focus on this one area in our profession. Again, whether it's exotics or dentistry, and how can I do that? How can I choose my own path? So, really, one of our focuses has been on this idea of individualized education.
Mhm.
How can you choose what's going to work for you at this point in your career? Depending on what kind of time and space and brain energy and
Right.
all of that you have available, and how can we do it for you efficiently?
Mhm.
So, we're really digging into these things to help you plan your schedule, to help you dig into certain topics. You can now sort your education by topics, by level of proficiency. Are you a new grad? Have you been out for 20 years? What kind of experience do you have? And then how can we build that throughout our platforms? Can you turn to today's veterinary practice and read an article to help deepen your knowledge of something you just went to at VMX to help cement it and be a little
Mhm.
more robust? So I think the idea of each of us as individuals, um, I think to thrive, to really thrive, we really want what we want at that
Mhm.
moment. So how can I give you what you want? And I can go to the same event and get what I want. So I think that's exciting.
It is exciting. And I think the other piece to talk about there is not just the technical education, but also the experience around learning. So I know the conferences that I went to, back in the early 2000s, the conference of today looks very different.
Hmm.
So what are some of the wellness strategies, or some of the ancillary events
Yeah.
that happen at the conferences to support that learner through the education process?
Well, one again, I think we've really dug into this idea of being able to add on some electives to your main
Mhm.
conference. So whether it's a hands-on workshop or an interactive meet the professor lunch or an interactive masterclass, there's more opportunities than ever to again individualize and specialize your own experience. But then we've also really doubled down on the idea of having a little bit of fun around it. If you've noticed the last few years, VMX has a really clear theme. We've really tried to make them fun, interesting, exciting, whether it was, our throwback to the 80s theme 2 years ago when we celebrated our 40th, or this year we did a Festival of the Heart.
Mhm.
And again, can I do education where you're doing an art project, but you're still learning, but maybe it's 2 hours and you get to paint for an hour, but you also get to learn cytology for an hour of that. Because I do think there's this sense of, like, we used to feel so like we had to rush from thing to thing to thing to get our required hours. Well, now, okay, you still need your required hours, but Maybe you add on virtual and you do the things in person that are exciting and fun and interactive. Um, and then you can also do some stuff afterwards too. Maybe you don't need 30 hours in 4 days. You can take some breaks and have a little bit more leeway. But I also say we're working more and more with our speakers to try and make their experience better so that
Mhm.
they can interact with people and have a really genuinely enjoyable instruction experience.
Well, Dr. Dana Varble, again, Chief Veterinary Officer of NAVC, thank you so much for your time today and for all the work that you're doing for our profession.
Thank you. It's great to talk with you.
Again, I'm Dr. Natalie Marks here with the Fountain Report conversation. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.